This is the semifinals, the top four of the not the Skyward Series, that's a different league, of the Royalty Series, Season 2, House Wyffindor Premier 2v2 semifinals. Welcome in, everybody, to the Sporty stream. I'm Sporty FC, joining me is PerpendicularPanda, and as I've already said, this is the top four of the Royalty Series, which was a merger between the Skyward Series and the Amateur Gaming League. Now in their second season together, we've got the best of the 2v2 division here. Our first match, Wyffindor over is taking on Let Me. Best of 7 matchup, PerpendicularPanda. What a match we have here. A best of 7, 2 teams. This is it, single elimination. You move to the grand finals or your run is over.
Yes, I'm so excited to see how this best of 7 plays out between Overs and Let Me Pinch. Honestly, it is really interesting to see how players will change on first match to 7th match, and honestly, given the talents that we have on both teams, I think we might be pulling a 7 match this time. We might see it this game.
I mean, as casters, you always got to predict those 7 matches, right? Always the most exciting part of this gameplay, and I mean, at this point in the season, you know, for the Premier Division, always an interesting division when it comes to 2v2s, because it hasn't always had this 2v2 division. It started off with it, but periodically it has lost this 2v2 division just based on signups. This season, though, 12 teams signed up just to have that chance at being at the top. Sponsored by, again, House Wyffindor, who we're going to be seeing one of their teams tonight. Of course, those teams all making it to the playoffs here. We'll take a look at the final, correct final bracket. This is not... I don't have the final bracket up here, but we are in the final bracket here. We got to see quarterfinals action, you know, last week. Teams battling each other for those spots. As you can see, 6 of those teams came from House Wyffindor. Only 2 of them remain, so those teams have had a tough run in the quarterfinals. Let Me Pinch, the only one of 2 teams, the only team actually in this top 8 that isn't part of an organization. They're looking to take on Wyffindor Overs. What a match we have to start off our day.
Absolutely, and like you said, 12 teams came into this match, and we are looking at 2 of the final 4. Exactly what you said earlier. One of these teams is going home, and one of these teams will have a shot at the final 2. It's going to be super exciting, especially with Let Me Pinch coming in without an org, and Wyffindor is potentially, based on the other match, going against someone else, another team in their org. I'm very excited to see how both teams are going to come into this match and see what they how they will react to go into the final, hopefully for a shot for the final match.
As mentioned as well, again, this is 2v2 action, and for the House Wyffindor side again that sponsors this. It's not even just, you know, these 16s are the entirety of the org in the first place. They actually had, I believe, 7 teams sign up out of 12 total. So House Wyffindor really brought the house into this tournament, really looking to take a win here. This is a relatively small org, and one that really wants to get a win for themselves. Only have 2 teams remaining. It is a tough run, and Wyffindor Overs are one of those 2 teams, the other being Whiffer Snappers, who are playing on the other side on the Royalty Series mainstream against the Bikini Bubble Strikers, or BBS. Sorry, the Bikini Bottom Strikers, aka BBS. And this one is Wyffindor Overs taking on Let Me Pinch. And, you know, just to talk about Let Me Pinch as a team, this is a team of a lot of chemistry. Shadow Ball, Damien, and Octane have been teammates for quite a long time, even the last time we saw them, which was only a few months ago. It was the exact same roster. Hello West champs. And again, even before that, back in Skyward Series, Shadow Ball and Damien were both teammates. Octane's probably the most recent addition, but these 3 have been teammates for a very long time.
Absolutely, and with that chemistry, we're going to see how they play out tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see, especially with Wyffindor's Overs coming through from the previous game with a winning 4-3 in their series, and Let Me Punch coming 4-0 from their series. So coming off with that confidence on both teams, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out tonight.
Said as well tonight. Take a look at our schedule here. Again, we're going to be here as well for one more match later tonight. Silent Wolves taking on Swordfish Stride in the House Wyffindor Premier 3v3 playoffs. So, not only are we seeing 2v2 Premier, we're seeing 3v3 Premier. Seeing the best of both divisions today. This is the final day of action. The Royalty Series Season 2. So it's a big day as well. It's the biggest divisions, it's the scariest teams. And as you said, it's a big prize at the end waiting for them here. Short overs. On Let Me Pinch. Then again, later on, have another match later tonight. I mean, we're talking about playoffs. This is Championship Sunday. This is the day teams can really stake their claim.
And they're definitely going to want to stake that claim. I mean, with I believe a 3-game series total, it's going to be super interesting to see them like finally fight out for the final opportunity to get that the overall prize and the winning match. And I honestly can't wait to see how Overs and Let Me Pinch come into this game and ready to basically claim that opportunity for themselves.
As you said as well, what a series we have ahead of us. I mean, it's going to be exciting, that's for sure.
Yeah,
As, I mean, I'm shaking for this because this is the kind of stuff that like we as fans love to see. We love to see that. This is playoff action. This is what we want.
Exactly. This is like the big match of the whole thing. People who have been watching the game from the very beginning are looking out to see who is going to win, who's going to walk away as the big team with the big title at the very end of this. And the NA Premier 2v2 semifinals, we're here at the semifinals. Exactly like you said, today is championship day. This is the biggest day of the series, and we're going to get to see who's going to finally take that claim to the win, who is going to prove out that they are the best team of this collection of teams, and essentially get to take that home with them to their org or not org, wherever their team is a part of.
Dead as well. Again, an insane match, insane experiences. This is what teams always looking for. But as you said, a best of 7 teams, 7 games. At grand finals awaits. But reminder, because it is single elimination, if you lose, your run is over. That's what's going to happen here. But essentially, what we're going to be seeing. So this is where things get tense. This is where that pressure builds. I mean, they've already had to go through one round of that playoffs in the quarterfinals, but it doesn't get easier. It's the semifinals. There's less teams. The competition's better. When it comes down to pressure like this, I mean, these teams, they're gonna have a lot to cope with. The benefit is these teams do have breaks in between games. As we said, that minute in between, we've seen it in the past year, Panda, actually work for teams. Teams can take that minute, relax, and so often we can see teams turn that series around, especially early on.
Absolutely, that minute can be absolutely game breaking or game making. It's in those decisions those players can finally like build up that confidence if they take a loss, ride that confidence if they had a win, and be able to make those decisions for the next game that could potentially get them another point in that series.
And we're waiting on it, but I think these teams are just about ready to get things underway. Wyffindor over has been coming in with Arc and Shivers, taking on the starting roster for Let Me Pinch and Shadow Ball and Octane. So we've got our best of 7 sets and ready. A reminder, 2 matches today, 2 playoff matches today, but this is the semifinals. Whoever wins goes to the grand finals, goes to the top 2, a chance to immortalize themselves in Royalty Series history. The loser's night is over before it even began. A best of 7 Wyffindor over as part of the famed House Wyffindor side, looking for a huge tournament win for the organization. Let Me Pinch on the other, fighting as the only team left without an org to represent. One best of 7 will determine one team's legacy.
Looks like we already got Wyffindor overs going for the shot attempt, but the defense on both sides and offense is being strong, and the Let Me Pinch is not willing to get a shot right now. It looks like, from the looks of it, we're going to, the Wyffindor overs is trying to bounce it back over to the side, but Let Me Pinch is really trying to get an offensive march. It might be a shot attempt here, but no. Let Me Pinch is taking it back over to, and we have a clash over here. Honestly, Wyffindor's overs is keeping it on the Let Me Pinch side, and we're having a bit of bounce back and forth, but it might take a shot attempt here, and we have a goal for Shadow Ball 14 for the Let Me Pinch. Within a minute, we already have our first goal. That's a great start off for Let Me Pinch.
And a whiff there from Shivers. You know, you can have all that pressure you want in offense, but in 2v2, the scariest part of this game is just the fact that you don't have a third player who supports you. That second player is going to be the player that these teams have to rely on, because not only do you have to play defense as that one that's further back, but you also have to set yourself up as an offensive option. A very tough position to play, and it's one where so often if you don't play it right, you set yourself up for counterattacks against you, and Wyffindor over is getting caught out there now. Shadow Ball definitely need another chance there, but Arc, give it away. You know, you went by Arkinator in the past. We saw him before on this stream on Final Form. A very different player now as he sets up on House Wyffindor. against a relatively new startup organization, and one that is still looking for big tournament wins, looking to put themselves on the map. We've been able to connect so far as Arc. Given away by Shadow Ball. Will be Arc again, but a bumping through. Shivers waiting back. Wyffindor over is back to offensive control, but they haven't had many chances. Shivers will be cleared away by Shadow Ball, and Let Me Pinch will look to take this ball right back.
Password, Octane is already taking it right back over to Shivers, where Shivers is ready to receive and take it back over to Let Me Pinch's side. Shivers potentially going for a shot attempt, but blocked by Shadow Ball. And it's thinking Octane's going to take it back over. Potential pass, and Arc is going to receive it. Exactly. Oh, Octane taking it forward. We're potentially putting a bounce back, but Shivers takes it back out towards the other side. We might see a shot attempt coming through Shivers and Arc, but the defense, and we have, but Shadow Ball is not listening for that today. Arc and Octane both go for it, but Arc hits the initial tap with Shadow Ball taking it towards the goal. Arc blocks it off.
Seen a lot of back and forth so far. Wyffindor overs, though, been the team that's held a lot more offense, and sooner rather than later they get that goal, the first of the series for House Wyffindor, and it comes courtesy of the infield pass from Arc and the back post shot from Shivers.
What a wonderful goal coming from Shivers, and exactly, we got a 1-1 tie, and 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the here with kickoff. We have immediately going to the side. Octane and Shivers both go for it. Shiver gets the tap off. Shivers going for potentially taking it to the middle field so that they could get a shot attempt, but Octane and Shadow Ball are right there, not letting it happen. Octane takes it to the other side. Arc ready to defend, but with the potential, Arc takes it towards out. Shadow Ball taking the opportunity. We might see a shot attempt here, but Shivers not with it today. And Octane comes in through to take it to the side, giving them back position, but Shivers is speeding up. Shadow Ball did not let Shivers get possession of the ball right then.
A lot of offense so far from Let Me Pinch. Wyffindor unable to get this one back, and Panda so far, it's been a self back and forth, but it feels like for Let Me Pinch, they've had the better opportunities. Even though they have not had the majority of the offense, they've had the opportunities to take. It feels like Wyffindor just haven't been aggressive enough.
Absolutely. The aggressiveness in defense is very even right now. Shivers going for the shot attempt, but Shadow Ball is not letting it. The defense and offense for both teams has been very equal, which is why I think we're not seeing many points fly into the match. And again, this is 2v2s. Shivers, Octane, and Shadow Ball both there to block Shivers' attempt. And it seems like Shadow Ball is going to take out, but a quick miss and a very close shot by Arc, but unfortunately it did miss. Shadow Ball taking it back over to the side, but Shiver is returning. Octane blocks it out. This is exactly the moves we're seeing with the defense. Shiver and a bounce in from Arc. That was a interesting shot attempt from Shivers and Arc. Octane tried to block it out, but the miscommunication got Arc to pass it in.
Another great infield pass on the overs side. So much of this 2v2 action, so often we think of 2v2 as just being the game mode. You have more space where you can do more solo efforts. Oftentimes, at this top level is the exact opposite of that. It's all about how do you utilize your teammates and not overcommit. And that's the real question. How do you have that second player get involved? As Shivers may not even need his second player. He's got the patch and feel, but that one's gone wide of the post. And the Wyffindor overside will go back. Let Me Pinch now. Less than a minute to work with. They've got to get chances here, but Shivers has the dunk. Octane's the back corner. Let Me Pinch. Need to just take some offense here. Time is running low. Shadow Ball, flicked over Arc. Shivers will wait back. As it bounces off that back corner, Octane cuts through. Space for Octane. Shadow Ball. Arc will beat him there. And this will bounce all the way back. No doubt about it. It's 3-1.
What a wonderful goal from Shivers. 3-1, 17 seconds left on the clock. It looks like we're going to have the first point, unless Let Me Pinch can come up with a very quick return to this. We might see Wyffindor take the first point of this series. With the kickoff coming up in exactly 1 second, we're going to see how if Let Me Pinch is going to pull through with a second. Arc has got an open goal right there, and immediately took that opportunity of the open goal. Arc scores an additional point within 12 seconds left of the match.
As you said, a goal for Arc, and at this point, that should be game one. Let Me Pinch threw everything they had at that net, but that's the risk that you take when you play that aggressively. I mean, they have to do it this late because they are down, and whether you lose by 3 or lose by 1, it doesn't make a difference. You lose nonetheless. But unfortunately for Wyffindor, or I should say, unfortunately for Let Me Pinch, they'll not be taking this game, but fortunately for Wyffindor, it's a great start for them.
Absolutely, and with the quick tap in by Shadow Ball, this final score is looking to be 4-2, unless we get another quick shot off this final kickoff. But honestly, I think our final score is going to become 5-2, with Wyffindor getting the first point of this series. It's quickly tapped off, and it's in the air. We'll see if either team wants to try and get a second attempt, and Shivers, and with that touchdown, Wyffindor gets the first point of this series.
Great start here for the underdogs in Wyffindor overs. They are not the favorites in this match coming into this final bracket as the 7th seed. They were not expected to do amazingly. They had, again, that tough first round matchup against Wyffindor Wet Jets, a very solid team. Again, that's a 2nd seed as well. About that, you look at what they're doing, off to a great start here. But of course, still a lot more action to go through, still a lot more teams that are really yet in this bracket. Again, a reminder for teams across on the other semifinals playing just the same spot that they are. So, I mean, there's so many teams fighting in this, but what we saw in game 1 is that it was kind of Let Me Pinch who kind of lost at the end of there. It was just a slow burn of a game. What do you want to see from Let Me Pinch? What do you want to see overall? Maybe see if you can pick up this action a little bit.
Exactly. I want to see if the offensive is going to change for either side, especially with Let Me Pinch. The way that they kept bouncing back and forth with the offense and defense, we had a lot of back and forth and not a lot of shot attempts, but it could have just been super strong defense. I'm really interested to see if Let Me Pinch coming in with the full confidence, especially with being the 3rd seed of this bracket. I want to see that level of confidence come in and potentially get them that point in this match.
Go into game 2, and it is Wyffindor overs who have the series advantage. But as you said, Let Me Pinch got team chemistry. They've got a lot in their favor coming in as that 3rd seed. This is a team that is good enough to win a lot of these matches. But of course, off-road to get to that grand finals, and right now, they've got to get themselves on that board. Octane saved away by Arcus. Wyffindor overs now going on a 2v1, a quick counterattack, and it's there, but Shadow Ball will get back in time. And you saw that bump attempt from Shivers nearly connect, as he'll take a pot shot there. Octane gets the block. Shadow Ball now, past one. Shivers the last one back. He's been demolished, and Octane will not be able to hit the nets. Arc will keep it away. Wyffindor overs. A little bit of scary defense. A little bit more on the bumps and demos coming through, but they are connecting as that pass it's in for Shivers. The bottom left corner is open.
Right off there, Wyffindor gets the first point on this match as well. That is a very interesting way, and I honestly wonder what Let Me Point is thinking right now with this match already being 1 point down. But here is where they can change it. There's still plenty of time in the match. Octane take and a quick point off of Shivers off the kickoff. That was within 5 seconds. Shivers got a 2nd point for Wyffindors in this series. That is a crazy tone for how they want this match to go.
Wyffindor overs willing to play more aggressive on the kickoff too. You can just tell this team they're breathing in, they're living in the confidence. That's a huge play for them here. It's Arc now. Another chance. That's Arc, but it will be high and wide. Wyffindor overs. I love this confidence that we're seeing from them. Even with the last game ending on a bit of a down note with Let Me Pinch, trying to play more aggressive. Oh, no way. Oh my goodness, Shadow Ball. That is a confidence booster. Let Me Pinch. Not only does Shadow Ball do well just to get past that first player, but he goes with a ground bounce play. And Let Me Pinch. What a start in game 2.
Wonderful first point for Let Me Pinch of this match. Here, all the kickoff move. We'll see if that continues. Arc takes it towards him, but Octane is ready to challenge that ball. It seems like they're going for another, and Arc repeats the exact same style of what Shadow Ball just did on their point to get a 3rd point for Wyffindor's overs. That is a crazy return, a crazy response to that first point from Let Me Point in this match.
Had a great response right off the ground. They didn't waste any time to get that goal. And absolutely necessary play there. It's a good outplay from Wyffindor overs, not trying too much. It's another kickoff win as well. Let Me Pinch struggling on those kickoffs. That is not a place you want to be losing the ball too often, because in 2v2s, once one player goes, that second player is the only one that's back. You don't want to put that kind of strain on your defense early. But Wyffindor over is still going to put that strain in again. They have both overcommitted though. Octane. Oh, that's not a great first touch. He's kind of lost it there, and they will get back and get the play moving. Wyffindor overs will be very thankful that not much more else came out of that from Octane.
Exactly. Shivers taking it towards, we might see a pounds back and forth between Shivers and Arc, but that means that on the other side, Octane, let me point to offense, and we have a quick to Octane like from the shot. Arc's going to try and recreate an opportunity for a shot attempt, but both Shadow Ball and Octane are taking it over while Shivers is returning from the demo. And the bounce off of Shivers. Shadow Ball still got the point for leaving the match entirely, still got 1 point down for Let Me Point in this match.
Let Me Pinch. What a great flick there from Shadow Ball. That was a musty flick that is just nice. He's going for a little bit of style, but that, it's you know, it's one that you can predict. It takes a while to set up. There's so much power to it. Not exactly a flick that you need to know at this game level, but at this level, players are going to know that kind of stuff, and sometimes that flick just works. Oh, what a fake, though! Shadow Ball's got the block on Arc. That should have been goal 4 for Wyffindor, but Shadow Ball with a miraculous recovery. Now Octane will go for this, but not much on it. Will get over Shivers. Now a play. Arc's whiffed on it. Shivers will get back. Wyffindor overs right now, feeling the pressure because Let Me Pinch, bringing the offense to them. Shadow Ball, Arc off a corner. Octane keeping it afloat, but Let Me Pinch is trying to find that something else. Left infield, Arc's whiffed. Everybody's whiffing. Shot saved away. It's still in front, but Octane can't turn it in. And Let Me Pinch will be forced to retreat. Wyffindor overs, scrambling on defense to just keep the 1 goal lead alive. Oh dear.
Here we might see another quick block from Shivers, taking it back over to the Let Me Point side. But Shadow Ball is not really chasing that first additional point, but Wyffindor is not having it with that point right now. They really want to get another, and here it might be Octane with a quick save from Arc's shot attempt, taking it back over to the Wyffindor side. We might see a shot, but Shivers is not taking it. They're not letting that point come in from Let Me Pinch real quick. Shivers is going to take it back over to the side. We're seeing a little bit of a slower plays coming on the offensive side, they're trying to do some style flicks. Right there, it came across the goal, but it did not go in. Octane taking it back to the side, but Arc, this seems a lot of contestment play right now, but it might be because of the offense and defense sides.
And you're right, it's still back and forth. It still feels very reminiscent of what we just saw in game number 1. Yet even then, Let Me Pinch and Wyffindor over is more willing to play that aggressive, demo-heavy playstyle that we were lacking in game 1. There's a difference. These teams are making those adjustments, and right now, it hasn't really made too much of a change. It's still Wyffindor overs who are leading, but you can tell they're under a lot more pressure now, a lot more nervous. It's Let Me Pinch, who themselves have that ability to bounce back a little bit better this game, especially with so little time remaining. They only need 1 goal. Shadow Ball, they get much on that flick as Let Me Pinch. There now in less than half a minute to go. Only 1 goal behind, but in a game like this could be a huge, huge turn of events. But that is not going to happen. Shivers will get the dunk, and with nobody back, Wyffindor overs will take insurance with 17 seconds left.
Wyffindor's right then just made sure that they will get another point in this series. And I can only wonder what Let Me Pinch is thinking right now with how they're going to come back in this match and not only the next one as well. Here it comes off the kickoff. I see Let Me Pinch being extremely much more offensive with Octane taking off the kickoff and Shadow Ball already lining up, ready to tap in the ball if possible, but Arc is ready there, not letting that point come in. It might seem that Wyffindor is going to get a second shot attempt for these final 3 seconds. And with the buzzer, Wyffindor that would have been goal 4, but Wyffindor does walk away with the point for this match.
And they didn't need that goal, even with it not going in. They didn't need that goal anyway. A second game win for Wyffindor overs. Looking to make this a Wyffindor Grand Finals. Again, this org pretty happy with what they're seeing right now, but only being our second game and a potential 7 in total. Now that it's 2 games straight of Let Me Pinch struggling, PerpendicularPanda, what do you think we need to see out of this team? What kind of adjustments do we need to wait on?
Surprised if Let Me Pinch comes in playing a lot more of that sort of 1-person offense, 1-person defense, as much as it relies on that front player being getting those points in. The defense, the points they've gotten from those back deep open goals is just too dangerous to let Wyffindor get an additional point in the series. Shadow Ball going for the shot attempt already. Obviously, we're seeing a heavy amount of offense being played from Let Me Pinch right now, and they're trying to do half court defense. Octane taking it for the shot attempt, but it's just a little too high, and Arc is not letting it happen to get them that first point within the first 30 seconds. We are seeing...
And I apologize, but what we were saying is that Let Me Pinch should be playing a little bit more defensively this game.
Yeah, that is what I'd imagine, given the spin. And just like there, Shivers with a goal. Unfortunately, Shadow Ball and Octane could not get back enough in time, and Shivers got to take it in right then. And that goal is kind of like what I was saying. The defense between, they're playing a very, very strong offense, but if we saw a little bit more defense, we might see those type of goals not happen.
Interesting point to make, that's for sure, because so often your teams talk about how they want to be more aggressive on the field, but Wyffindor over is your suggestion. Sorry, for Let Me Pinch, your suggestion is quite the opposite, but it's not making a difference here as Shivers barrels his way in for goal 2. It just doesn't feel like any playstyle work for Let Me Pinch. They're playing a little bit more defensively now. That isn't making a difference. Wyffindor overs now have more space to work with, and they've now gotten those 2 goals even faster than they did before.
Exactly. That's less than a minute, and Wyffindor is already putting a statement and a tone for how they want this match to go. Octane taking it in. They're trying to get a shot on the board to get Let Me Pinch have their first point of this series. Shadow Ball taking it, potentially getting, but miss both defenders with that flick, and it is going in. Shadow Ball secures the first point for Let Me Pinch with a quick flick and faking it. Shivers and Arc out for that goal.
Nice little double fake there from Shadow Ball. That's a little misdirection that we haven't seen yet from Let Me Pinch. I want to see this team really utilize that chemistry more as well. Not just like a more possession-based playstyle, maybe one that's more defensive, but I want to see them really utilize each other, because this is a team that so often wants to play as 2 separate players, but it doesn't always work, especially in matches like this. It doesn't always work, but Shadow Ball is leading. He's playing better right now. He's playing it a lot faster. Where was this the last 2 games? But Let Me Pinch won't be complaining. They needed those 2 goals, and they needed them fast.
I take back my previous statement. If Shadow Ball and Octane keep up that type of speed on offense, the more offensive side might be the route that Let Me Pinch needs to take in order to secure this match. Shadow Ball chasing that ball down, and Shivers is trying to keep it away from him. Arc, same thing, and they're immediately putting pressure already still on their side. Arc and Octane bouncing back for that ball to not give the shot attempt. Octane blocks away Shivers' attempt. And we're going to see, hope Shivers might go for another shot attempt here, but Shadow Ball's not having it. Instead, going to take the open goal for a shot attempt. Octane misses it. A small miss of communication, taking away that additional point.
We go indoor overs. 3 minutes to go to see if they can take the lead again, but Let Me Pinch. Oh, that was an open chance for Octane. Nobody back. Shadow Ball comes through. He's ran into his own teammates, and Let Me Pinch now under distress. Not a lot to work with, although now they've got a lot of time. Octane, big dunk, should be an open chance, but Shivers will be back for Shadow Ball. Trying to play aggressive here, it's what he should be doing, as Arc now. Low boost, waiting midfield, infield pass, cut off, and away. Shivers now directs this one long, Shadow Ball keeps it up. A lot of broken rotations right now. Teams aren't really in the knowledge of where each other are. Will Wyffindor overs with yet another fake. This one succeeds. Let Me Pinch completely fooled.
Absolutely, especially with all those different plays and how they kept, like, with some misses, some hits. That was an incredible point coming from Wyffindor. Let's see if Let Me Pinch will be back with that offense and get another tied up match. Shadow Ball immediately chasing after that ball, but Shivers missing, trying to take it back. Shadow Ball going for the open goal, but Arc is ready there. Octane lagging behind in case they need to make that defensive pull. And we're seeing a lot of infield passing, trying to get to the other team. That chemistry is starting to be shown through Let Me Point. Shivers taking it down. Octane is not letting it. Let Me Pinch is not letting them get that shot attempt like they've had. They really are fighting hard offensively to get that point up on the board for this match, so it's tied. They are not giving another one to Wyffindor.
Waiting. Oh, what a great fake there from Arc. And it's 4-2. Wyffindor overs. And you mentioned it's been an uphill battle both ways for Wyffindor so far this game. And yet they have mastered Storm survived all the way. What a performance so far. Wyffindor overs, leading by 2 with less than 2 minutes to go. Trying to pull themselves away. This should be number 3. Oh, it's off the bar. In goes Arc Flip Reset. Double tap and toe, but doesn't have the boost to catch up. Shivers will have to wait back, and Wyffindor overs will have to put that offensive attack on delay.
We see it trying to get it back onto the Wyffindor side from Shadow Ball, but both team members are ready there and not letting that ball come near their goal. And we already seeing as well with Let Me Pinch increasing their offense. Wyffindor has stepped it up as equally, so that Shivers taking that, trying to get it towards in the midfield, but Octane is not wanting that ball to get anywhere near their goal. Both teams playing super strong, and we see a shot attempt here, but Arc is just close enough to be able to save it.
Octane.
There's Octane, so sorry.
A good play in front. And I saw that play and I'm thinking, oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, wait a second. Oh no, less than a minute to go. Let Me Pinch. Have taken goal 3. They only one away here, Panda, and things are starting to get very nerve-wracking for Wyffindor.
Absolutely, they tried to build that lead, and Let Me Pinch is coming here with not wanting to bring that together and potentially get that point. We're seeing already the offensive on both sides stepping it up immensely. Shivers going, Shadow Ball not letting that go through, and immediately we're seeing that contestment back forth. Shadow Ball takes that block from Arc's shot attempt, and Shivers is trying to set it up so that maybe we'll see a crash in coming from Arc, but Shadow Ball is taking it back over to their side. Let Me Pinch has slowing it down, try and maybe do another one of those ground ball flicks. Arc is taking it, Octane saving it to bring it back over, and Wyffindor is sending it back over to Let Me Pinch's side. Oh,
Wyffindor overs right now, just trying to slow the thing down, waste out time. They're about 10 seconds away from that win, but Let Me Pinch are looking desperately to get one goal, a whiff there, and now here goes Shivers to the ceiling, to Arc. This one will drop into the net for one more, and Wyffindor overs now are one win away from a spot in the grand finals.
I can only wonder what is going through both teams' heads right now. The confidence with Wyffindor's overs being one point away in this series from being in the grand finals, and Let Me Pinch being just a little, having this final match being the potential decider of who, if they are going home without the attempt at the grand finals, or if they can turn it around and become the ones who go to the grand finals.
One win away here for Wyffindor overs. And for Let Me Pinch, yet again, another heartbreaking loss. Every single game has felt like games that have been within reach for them, but they just haven't done enough. And just, what we're seeing right now, and you're just seeing this Wyffindor team be able to pull out those minuscule leads. I mean, when it came to the demo game, they were just barely better than that. When it came to last game and just being able to hold on defense, they did better than at that. They're better in so many different ways, but not by much. And for Let Me Pinch, this feels like a few things need to change. Somebody needs to step up, and that's all that they can. That's all they need.
Exactly, and especially with Wyffindor's coming in here being the underdog of this bracket, I can't imagine the confidence booster that we might see coming in through their offense in this potential final match. Immediately Shivers, and we see offensive side, as we've seen in all of the matches from both sides, step it up almost, I could say. With the demo on Octane, the ball is just in the back corner, and it's being met by both players. They are not letting Shivers get in that early goal, but we might see it with Arc, and Arc did take that opportunity to tap it in while there was only one person in the goal, for securing the first point for Wyffindors, already trying to say they want that grand finals. They want this to be the final match of this series.
And for all of you out there in chat who are wondering how the other semifinals is going on the Loyalty Series mainstream, we've been given an update. BBS right now, the Bikini Bottom Strikers are leading 2-1 in the series right now against the Whiffers Snappers. So those chances of a Wyffindor v Wyffindor Grand Finals not out, by the way, of possibilities, but it is one for BBS. They are the #1 seed. They're a very good team. It is not exactly likely. In fact, there was a very good chance we would have come into the Grand Finals without any Wyffindor teams. Obviously, though, the chances are pretty slim right now with how Wyffindor overs are playing. They're up by 1. They're in a very good position. They're just looking for, I think, a few more chances, and may be their opportunities here. Arc and Shivers, again, fighting for that spot in the grand finals. Reminder, because it's single elimination, whoever loses is out. So for Let Me Pinch, this is it for them. They have to win from here on out.
And here is where we might see a couple of those mistakes out of sheer nerves coming from Let Me Pinch, because this, like you said, might be the game that they are sent home. Octane taking it for the shot, but Arc is blocking it. Wyffindor does not want this ball on their side. They want to put as much contestment as they can on Let Me Point and see if they can get some shots with those opportunities. Octane and Shadow Ball sending it back over, keeping it in the back corner. So they're trying to see if they can weed out an opportunity with Arc and Shivers defending. Shadow Ball's sending over. We might be able to get a shot attempt and a pinch, but Arc is there to block it.
That was fast. My goodness, I don't know how Arc actually read that play. Wyffindor overs just surviving there. And again, that's what I say, just by little margins. As now they go 2v1. That's saved by Shadow Ball. Will keep Let Me Pinch within a 1-goal difference. At this point for Wyffindor overs, they've been very, very successful in this position. They don't necessarily need to do too much. Their defense has done so much of the work for them. Oh, but the offense is just magnificent. Arc with a air dribble from behind the midfield line, and he forces it through with that final challenge. Wyffindor overs now are up by 2.
That is truly, I can only wonder the nerves that have to be setting in on Let Me Pinch, and it's going to be seen in their play with how offensive and how strong their defense might change to be, because they do not want to go home. Arc is immediately taking that ball out of the back corner. Maybe we'll see another shot coming from Wyffindor's, but we're seeing some strong shot attempts. Oh, and such a close shot, just a hair off for the first point for Let Me Pinch. We see another shot coming through, but it's going to be too high for them to be able to get a demo. Let Me Pinch is trying to get that point in that ball in the goal right now. They are trying to get that first point so that they are not going home at the end of this match. Shivers sees the open, and immediately Let Me Point is going for backside the open goal, but Shadow Ball might tap it out. A very close goal if Arc had pulled up.
Great block there as well, and you mentioned as well, Let Me Pinch are clawing right now. The Wyffindor overs, they are doing everything they can to get back in this game. Wyffindor, again, reminder, only 1 game away from guaranteeing a spot in that grand finals. Shadow Ball, great first touch. Shivers waits right under this one, and time and space for Wyffindor to work with. Shivers, Shadow Ball now. Arc is waiting, but he's been demoed out. Let Me Pinch with open space, but Shivers gets there in time. Now it's Octane. Shivers actually going to leave this one for a teammate here, and Wyffindor overs again, just wasting out time. At this point, they don't need to score anymore. All they gotta do is make sure that Let Me Pinch don't have the time to get opportunities. As Octane, he'll remove from that play, will come in for offense. Shivers, though, gets the dunk. Shadow Ball doesn't get enough on it. And Wyffindor overs add a third.
I have said it probably 3 times in this match, but I'm gonna probably mention it again. I cannot imagine the nerves that is kicking in right now for Let Me Pinch. With 3-0, this will be the game that they go home. We are 1 minute and 24 seconds away from seeing who with Wyffindor's put right now being going to the grand final. And with these quick moves, we're seeing they're almost at this point exactly what you said. They do not have to score, and Shadow Ball might get a first point. At this point, I just want to see Let Me Pinch get a shot up on that board for this potential final match. But from the looks of it, might be our final match for tonight of the series.
Arc, a minute to go. Shadow Ball trying to get something. Still time left, but Wyffindor overs are not giving them anything here. Shivers adds a 4th. And at this point for Let Me Pinch, their season has come to its closure. Arc will hit up the back wall. Shivers will put it in. Wyffindor overs are in a carefree state of mind. And I mean, on the other side, it's BBS and the Whiffer Snappers both fighting for their spots in that grand finals. Wyffindor overs are making it look easy. 4 games. Some of them may have been closer than others, but it doesn't matter anymore. Wyffindor overs are just the better team right now. They came in today prepared. And for Let Me Pinch, reminder, they were the favorites in this match. It looks like the seeding has all shifted around here. Wyffindor overs are playoff ready, and not even just that, they're grand finals ready. They're prepared for what's ahead of them.
Absolutely, and you can see it at this point. Let Me Pinch is just trying not to let Wyffindor's increased the score anymore. They're playing, and it looked like Ark was going to get a final shot in the final 8 seconds. And with the final countdown starting, and Octane really just wanted to get that 1 point in for Let Me Pinch on this final match, and Octane secured it.
Wyffindor overs. House Wyffindor gonna guarantee at least one team in the grand final. I love this. Let Me Pinch. They're trying to bribe Wyffindor overs to keep them in the series, but that's not gonna be happening. Wyffindor overs, they want that spot in the grand finals. They're not letting Let Me Pinch have anything here, and the time ticking to 0, it doesn't matter anymore. Wyffindor overs will be going to the grand finals, take on one more team. So House Wyffindor will guarantee that in the 2v2 circuit, at least one of the 2 teams in the grand finals will be from their organization. Congratulations to Wyffindor overs, a 4-0 sweep. What a start to the night.
Exactly what you said. What a wonderful start to the night. Wyffindor's getting their first team into that grand finals. And Let Me Pinch, exactly what you said. Let Me Pinch was the fan favored game, the fan favored team this round. And Wyffindor's came in and went 4-0, especially when Wyffindor's in their previous match went 3-4 against their own organization. Wyffindor's came here and they wanted to make it clear that they were going to grand finals, and that is exactly what they showed in these 4 matches.
Definitely. Strong showing so far. Wyffindor overs. First win. Tonight, but what we to get to see. Again, we've still got one more semifinals later tonight, but on the other side, I am getting word Bikini Bottom Strikers right now are leading 2-0 in Game 5 with a 3-1 series advantage. They themselves only 1 win away from the grand finals, which should be no surprise with them being the #1 overall seed. But, so far, PerpendicularPanda, what a start to the night. We've got another semifinals coming up. Silent Wolves versus Swordfish Stride. It's going to be an exciting series, just to say the very least.
Absolutely. I am super excited to see how the 3v3 in our future match is going to go. I can't wait, especially with how we started off already tonight with the 2v2, seeing the underdog come through. I'm honestly really excited to see if in the next match we see something similar or something like that. It would be really cool to see. It's already been a wonderful night of watching games, and I cannot wait for our next one. And 3v3 is just so much faster. It's unlike in 2v2 where you have that big gap where you have to play almost an offensive and a defensive position at the same time. You can stretch that out a little bit in 3v3s, and you don't have to worry as much because there's so much more movement going on in that one game. And I'm really excited to see how that is going to change, especially in the semifinals where the pressure is really pressing on.
That is well, the pressure is going to be high, but for us, we're going to be going offline for a little bit, going back online for the 3v3 Premier semifinals, also sponsored by House Wyffindor. So for all of you, I know you guys want to see that other semifinals, we're going to send you guys there with a quick raid. Thank you all so much for joining. But again, don't leave. In about an hour and a half's time, we'll be here with the 3v3 semifinals matchup. So join us for that soon enough. But for now, have a great night, enjoy the 2v2 action, and make sure you come back to the Sporty stream later for that 3v3 action.